Hi, I'm Diane. This amazing building houses the Memorial Museum dedicated to Operation Jubilee. We're in Dieppe, in Normandy, and Dieppe was the site of the very first large-scale raid on Nazi-occupied France. It took place on August 19, 1942, almost 2 years before D-Day. This building was the former municipal theater and is chock full of history. It was built in 1836 for the usage of the Duchess of Berry, who was the niece of the King of France. As many young women are, she was concerned with staying young and beautiful. She took advantage of the newly completed rail link from Paris out to the coast, making sea bathing the new must-do. Now, keep in mind that sea bathing in the time was much different than it is today. The bathing costumes went from your neck almost all the way down to your toes. The Duchess and her like-minded girlfriends all belonged to the nobility class and were very rich, and they were able to use bathing huts. They would climb inside the bathing hut, which had wheels on it, and were wheeled down to the water's edge. When they got there, a door would open, a set of steps unfolded, the ladies would get out and frolic a bit in the sea, but for a very short time because the water was quite cold. And they'd get back in and then were carried up to the top of the beach to safety by men with strong muscles wearing stripy bathing costumes themselves. The rest of the day they spent recovering from this exercise and preparing for the evening's entertainment, which took place right here in this theater. She had a private box facing the center stage. Now, the Memorial Museum is housed here because on the morning of August 19, 1942, some of the Canadian soldiers had pushed past the casino, which had been the site of very fierce fighting, and they were looking to penetrate into the city from the beachfront. Just out the side of the main theater, the front doors were facing the beach side. The theater looked like this at the time. The Allies burst through these front doors, crossed through the main body of the theater, and exited out through the south side, hoping to enter into the city center from here. Unfortunately, it was hopeless. There were German snipers everywhere. A small group penetrated about 2 blocks farther inland, but then had to fall back into the shelter of the museum. At about 11:30 a.m., orders were given for the soldiers to evacuate France. They were forced to backtrack across the wide open lawns down to the beachside, hopefully to hook up with the troop transport ships that were waiting to take them back to the safety of England. The casualties were very high. Of the 6,000 soldiers, Allied soldiers who took part in Operation Jubilee, 1,197 died. Over 2,000 were taken prisoner. However, lessons were learned which helped to prepare for Operation Overlord, better known as D-Day, in June of 1944.